Today, we begin making Montana a playground for the elite.
What do you think it is about 1923 that is resonating so much with people? Because people don't just like the show, we love the show.
I think it's, if I may, I think it's a throwback to what we grew up loving as children. I'm not saying that, everyone is as old as I am, but what I'm saying is, there's this love of adventure, romance. It encompasses so many genres, in terms of character development, that it harkens back to the great movies of the great era of filmmaking, and that's what I love about it. I love to see love stories, Western, cruelty,
loss, redemption.
Exactly. Yeah. So, it encompasses everything that I grew up loving as a child myself.
And really raw emotion.
Yes.
That's the thing, the stories are personalized. And with all that Sebastian said, if they weren't personalized, the stories, which comes from the writing, and then comes from the casting, and then comes from our director, and then comes from the production designer creating a world, and the costume designers. Yeah. It's a real team effort, and so it's really personal to all of us. And also, we're on the coattails of one of the most successful series ever, Yellowstone, right? And we have that, and then we have two major movie star icons leading us, and so it's we all show up every day with our A game, and are blessed to be there and happy to have the job and be working with Taylor and say these great lines.
Yeah, great lines.
Great lines. A lot of good one-liners too.
I kind of do you ever look at a script? Speaking of personalization, do you ever look at a script and say, I feel like maybe this needs a little tweaking? Or have you ever had a moment where you were like, can we work this out?
Only 99% of the times I read scripts.
Me too. It's the same. I was going to say, for this particular project, no.
Yeah.
But 99% of the time, you want to tweak.
You can't wait. I would space them out.
Oh.
When I started preparing again, I read all of last season again, watched the show, and then would read a script every 3 days.
You timed released it.
Yeah, because they were so
novel.
good. Yeah.
It's true. You read it like a novel, and you don't want it to end. It's the same with the series.
And we also know the characters so well, and we know the actors playing them to a degree. We almost spend a lot of time around each other, so it's fun to watch their journeys, and you hear their voice saying the.
And we're not only in the series, we're fans of the series. That's what's remarkable about it. Sometimes sometimes you do something particularly a fan of for this Taylor 1923. I'm a massive fan. Yeah. And also we were all fans of Yellowstone.
Sure.
As I say many times, I basically manifested being on this series.
I'm asking this at the complete wrong moment because we only have a minute left. But as far as tidbits for the audience in season 2, because I've only seen 3 episodes myself, a line occurs to me. A person is not defined by what happens to them, but by what they do, which really led me to the father.
Yeah.
That statement. Season 2, can you give us a little?
Well, season 2, I think, is what's going to be really interesting about Father Renaud is how
Am I still going to be mad at you?
You probably will, but, there are going to be some changes. He's thrust out of his element. He's going through trials and tribulations that are going to change him as a human being. He still has this obsessive quest, to find Tiona. But you are going to...
They get married.
That's it.
Exclusive!
And then they join the circus. But you are going to see some really interesting tidbits that are going to be very exciting. Yeah.
And then just a line for Zane. What's happening in season 2 in terms of
Zane
that?
Is just,
what he does.
Does he overcome the circumstances, the struggle, and can he, and how does he do that? I think that's it, and I think we're all the characters up against that. It's how do they overcome what they've been given,
And then he opens an Instagram account.
Yeah. And then he becomes a cowboy influencer. Gender neutral.
Exclusive.
It's very cool.